All right, Keith Pinkney. Kyrie Hammer. I told you, I've been telling this guy for 3 days. The old one is up. He said he's 2 minutes from the school.
The GHSA and member schools have made a commitment to promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators at all GHSA section events. Profanity, degrading remarks, and intimidating actions directed at officials or competitors will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the event site. Spectators are not allowed to enter the competition area during the warm-up or being conducted. Thank you for your cooperation in the promotion of good sportsmanship at today's event.
Stop. I'm getting it now.
Okay, let's welcome our away team, the Tucker Tigers. Number 1, Devontae Reynolds. Number 11, John Goldmeyer. Number 35, Tadeo Anthony. Number 43, Jabari Brett.
All right, he said he's 2 minutes away, and that was a minute ago, so he's parking. All right, coming to you live from the big city of Atlanta, Georgia. It's a Region 6 5A region tournament. It's the Miller Grove Wolverines and the Tucker Tigers in a rematch of 6A Powers. I mean 5A Powers, Region 6 5A Powers. Miller Grove is leading scorer is Kyrie Hammer. He'll wear the number 24 shirt. And the number 1 shirt is Keith Pinkney, the point guard. He's their second leading scorer. Or check that, he's just right behind Earl Bryant as the third leading scorer. Bryant is the second leading scorer for the team. And Miller Grove.
But Coach, if you remember, number 12 got into a little bit of foul trouble last time the Tucker Tigers took on the Wolverines at their home.
Yes, that is definitely the case.
I had to say something because you didn't mention me, so I feel a little left out.
Let's introduce Mr. Robert Knox. And he'll be standing in for Vidal Messiah, who's stuck in Atlanta traffic.
Yeah, that happens once in a while. But here we are at the action. We got Reynolds driving in. Khalil's caught in the middle.
And right away, it's a held ball, and the ball will go over to Miller Grove. And Miller Grove's vaunted pressure defense is already paying off dividends for the Wolverines. This is Pinkney. Bryant is the 13th shirt.
The big man's asking for it, Coach. Omar down low.
Shot that time was missed by James Walker. He's the number 12 shirt. And the Tigers will have their second offensive possession. This is Reynolds. And here's Devontae down to the lane. The little drop shot is good, but he's going to wave off the bucket, and there'll be an offensive foul charging call against Fitzgerald.
I don't know. It seems like a clean pull-up, Coach.
Well, the help defender stepped in there. So it wasn't an actual guy defending him that took the charge. It was a help defender, but he may have paid a price for it. That's 24. That's important. That's the outside shooting. Kyrie Hammer, the last time they played, he had 6 3-pointers against the Tucker Tigers.
You're right. I remember that. Well, hopefully he's okay. I'm sure he'll return.
So they've won the battle, but may have lost the war, as a key component is now out. This is Pinkney now up top.
It would have been nice, though, to have the first bucket of the game.
Bryant off the dribble, and Bryant with a floater in the lane. Nice move that time. Earl Bryant.
He had some height on that floater, I'll tell you that. That thing stuck up there for a second.
Here's off the dribble. Going baseline for the layup is Devontae Fitzgerald. Nice move.
It seems like Fitzgerald wants to exert himself early.
I thought the crowd was looking for the big flush as the high-flying Fitzgerald usually delivers.
Short.
Wide open three that time. Good knockdown by Earl Bryant that left him open. Here's Khalil Asing ahead of the crew. Asing with the layup. He's fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 shots. The foul is on, looks like it's on Earl Bryant. No, check that. It's 33. Omar Venable. Venable is the center for Miller Grove. And, Miller Grove is a deep team, but they're not very tall.
No, they're not.
One of their is their largest guy. He comes in at 6'7", and he's an 11th grader. But if he gets in foul trouble, that should bode well for the Tigers.
Khalil helping us out at the line. It's nice to see Khalil try to get a little more offensive early on.
Acing good on that first attempt.
Got their offensive rebound.
Dunmeyer with a nice rebound.
I'll take the rebound.
Fitzgerald again. He feeds the big man who goes for the big flush, and he's fouled. Oh, I like the way. See, he went for the big finish rather than a little layup that could have been blocked. But the unselfish play of Devontae Fitzgerald, able to read the defensive rotation of the double team and pass it off to the big man.
Well, when
shoot 2 shots.
When you think of championships, you always think of a player having a good game, big game. Now, Dunmeyer had a great game last game on Wednesday night.
In fact, Dunmeyer practically carried the team as Fitzgerald had an off night. He had about 10 points on the night. That's the leading scorer. He normally averages.
Oh, I would have loved that. Oh, 21. Come on, get in there. Get in there, Dunmeyer. 33 had a little rough time handling the rebound. All right, be careful.
It looks like it's going to be a turnover call against Miller Grove. And guess what? The A team is back. Reynolds into the front court. Into the big man. Nice dish off to Dunmeyer. Dunmeyer with a nice layup. What a feed from the post. Jabari Craig with a nice feed into the post. It's now 6-5. The Tigers are on top. Good pressure defense by Tucker. Pinkney wide open for a look at 3. Rebound battle for, still taken away by Miller Grove as Earl Bryant is able to corral the loose ball. Oh, a rejection from Craig. Jabari Craig, and now he runs the floor. The push by Dunmeyer. Dunmeyer with Fitzgerald trailing into the lane. It looks like he had fouled, and it will be 2 shots for Fitzgerald. And right off the bat, Fitzgerald much more aggressive tonight. From the go, he's gotten 3 possessions. He's gone to the hole all 3 times. He's scored 1. He's dished off an assist to Craig, and now he's at the foul line shooting 2 shots, and the Tigers are on top 6-5.
And that's great news for Tucker. He wasn't very involved last game, Scoop, and for them to make a run, after this game into the state playoffs, they've got to, really make sure he's involved, and he's a key part of what they're doing offensively and defensively. He's a very good shot blocker.
He's also a pretty good foul shooter. He's able to make the first shot. And now it's no good on the second. I think I jinxed him that time, but here's a push by Miller Grove. Tigers look like they're in a zone. It's a 2-3 zone. This is something new from the Tigers, starting off in a zone. Question is, will Miller Grove have the patience to solve this zone? Oh, the big fella again. He's blocking everything in there.
Good job.
Now here's Dunmeyer with the push. He decides to slow it down. And now it looks like the Tigers going to run something. Here's Reynolds from off the top. Ball's into the post. And they're going to call traveling that time as he switched pivot foot.
Tucker's off to a much better start tonight. They seem more active, more lively. Maybe it's the bigger crowd or the atmosphere, but they seem to have a bit more energy tonight.
I think it's the 4-time defending state champion Miller Grove Wolverines. They're really psyched for this game against the vaunted opponents, but that time Craig needs to get a little deeper post, don't you think? He's pretty far out there when he caught that.
Craig needs to get deeper and make a very quick move because Miller Grove's going to send a double team every time. So he's got to catch, make a quick decision.
Here's a pull-up three from Fitzgerald. Rebound, take it away. Gilbert. And it's going to be a foul called on Reynolds. It's the second. It's the first person for Reynolds, but it's the second team foul for Tucker. Here's Pinckney left open. Good position that time, but take it away. John Dunbar. Bit of a little thief on that baseline, able to take the ball away from the big fella after the rebound. Down the lane, it's Reynolds, and Reynolds unsuccessful with that left-handed attempt. Here's Pinckney now with the push for Miller Grove. Pinckney to the hole, and Pinckney able to convert over the big outstretched arm of Jabari Craig.
That was a very good finish.
Game's tied 7-up now. Here's Dunbar with a hesitation dribble. Dunbar going baseline. He's going to get a foul. Hey, they bailed him out that time. He's way under the backboard, nowhere to go. Why are you going to foul him that time?
They did. You know, once you get below the foul line, Scoop, you want to have, as a guard his size, some type of idea of what you're going to do with the ball. You don't want to get too deep. Worst case, get it up on the rim, allow your bigs to rebound, but you don't want to get that deep with no pass, with no passing outlets.
Oh. Tigers, who shot free throws pretty well last game, have started off missing a couple of their first shots. Here's the first substitution in the game. Shambari Phillips replaces Khalil Asing. Dunbar gets a second attempt, and he's able to knock it down. The Tigers back on top, 8-7 with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. So far, nip and tuck, tight battle between the Wolverines and the Tigers. Live here from the big city of Atlanta, Georgia. Dave DeCosta along with Vidal Messiah, and a partially blocked shot that time by Craig. Shambari rebound. Shambari now dribbling with his head up, able to find Dunbar. Dunbar in the hole. Dunbar unable to finish as it rims out. And Miller Grove the other way. And here's Fitzgerald. And some of those are the best, easiest one to block. Those are little scoop shots, aren't they?
It's a good setup. You got one guy going low. Players forced to scoop it, and you allow your big to clean it up.
Tigers in the 2-3 zone as Miller Grove inbounds this ball. Gilbert. Here's Gilbert left open for three. Gilbert's three-pointer is good. And against wide open shots for the three, and not a good start.
Yeah, that's what you give up with the zone. You don't want them to be wide open, but you are going to give up contested threes, and they've got to do a job of identifying the shooters and making sure they limit their touches.
Look like Miller Grove in a 3-2 zone, so they're throwing a zone of their own at the Tucker Tigers. And look, Dunbar.
The Tucker needs some penetration.
What a deep three from and an air ball, an ill-advised attempt.
Not a good shot. There's been no penetration, whether it be with the pass or the dribble. When the team goes zones, you want to attack inside out. They've got to get either some kind of interior pass or have one of the guards penetrate.
All right, 1-3-1 zone now from Tucker against Miller Grove, and left open again for the second three in a row. Alternate Gilbert.
I think he's a freshman. A very good-looking freshman there.
Gilbert is a ninth grader, and wow, what a ninth grader. Able to hit the two consecutive threes, and now Miller Grove, just like that, 13-8 lead after the Tigers were up 8-7.
Yeah, this is not Tucker's game typically. Again, Tucker wants to play fast, score in transition. Miller Grove going zone is forcing Tucker to, run some clock, pass the ball around, and think about the game. And they're not exactly, the best at that. They want to play fast, play up tempo, make decisions on the fly.
Gilbert with the 2 threes as the Wolverines extend to that 13-8 lead. It's timeout on the floor. Dave DeCosta along with Vidal Messiah coming to you live from Mays High School. It's the Region 6 5A tournament, and both teams are already in the state playoffs. This basically is just for seeding. You have Miller Grove, the number 1 seed in the state, the number 1 ranked team in the state in 5A. They come in with a record of 23-3, only losing national games really.
Yeah, I think this is a big game for both teams. For Tucker, you want to go into the playoffs with some momentum, with some victories. You never want to lose going into the playoffs. You want your team to be rolling. I think beating a team like Miller Grove only boost your confidence.
Tigers, oh, what a pass inside. Ball remained with Tucker. That time the pass, Tigers show a lot more ball movement, and able to get an open look for Phillips. Phillips unsuccessful. The long rebound stays with the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, unless they beat the zone down court and get an early open shot, they're going to have to work the ball and really try to find a way to penetrate.
They've gone back to a man-to-man now, and Miller Grove starts to switch defense. Craig unable to convert on a turnaround jump shot. It's less than a minute to go here in the first quarter. 5-point lead for the Wolverines. There's Pinckney on the baseline. Pinckney with reverse layup. Nice move. That time, Keith Pinckney.
Very good take. I think this is really an important possession there for Tucker. Miller Grove starting to find some type of rhythm, and it's important that Tucker keep it close here. Not the shot you want. That's his second air ball.
Appealing for the foul was Devontae Reynolds, but all he gets was an air ball.
That's a situation there, Scoop, where Miller Grove just scored the last 2 or 3 possessions. If I'm Tucker, I want to take the last shot. I don't want to.
Nice block that time. Interior defense. Tigers look to run. Dunbar with the push. Dunbar down the lane. And Dunbar go to the line and shoot 2. We'll see what his foul's on. It seems to be on number 3. The freshman, Anthony Gilbert. That's Gilbert's first personal. It's the 15th foul for Miller Grove. Now, closing out quarters are very important. If Dunbar, you got about 6 seconds to go. Tigers were leading 8-7, but Miller Grove has been on this run right now, which...
Yeah, both coaches can't be too happy right now. You had both teams with chances to hold for the last shot, which is what you want to do here. And they failed to execute. So the positive for Tucker is they're at the foul line. If they hit this, they're down 5. But they got to get back and stop Miller Grove in transition.
All right. Benefited from the 2 3-pointers from Gilbert and the last 2-pointer from Pinckney. Miller Grove, this one's going to be a little short. And basket's ruled no good. And they ended with an air ball of their own. That's the end of the first quarter. The Tigers trail 15-10. And Vidal, I got to ask you, Tigers were up 8-7. Miller Grove went on an 8-0 run. They went up 15-7, and the Tigers now able to close out with a couple, with 2 free throws here. But Miller Grove changed defenses on it. Went from a man-to-man to a zone, looked like a 3-2 matchup type zone, and they totally changed the complexion of this ball game.
Yeah, I think that's a good move by Coach White. Again, Tucker wants to play in transition. They want to make quick decisions. They want to take quick shots. And have everyone touch the ball in transition to find their rhythm. By going half court and forcing them to think about it, against the zone, sometimes that takes you out of your rhythm. If you want to play, read and react, you have to kind of think and plot as to how to best attack. I think it's a good move by Miller Grove, and Tucker has to find a way again to penetrate the zone and get some easy baskets or beat it down the court, early.
We're just about set to begin the second quarter. And if you're Tucker, really, how do you attack a 3-2 zone? Very active where they got hands all over the Tigers.
The guards have to penetrate. You've got a very good shooter and a player with size in Fitzgerald. Maybe run him up to the foul line and play some high-low with Craig, or try to get a runner on the baseline and attack it from the backside.
And there's a foul called. That's going to be on number 4, Raylon Richardson, who's just checked in. And Richardson picks up his first, and it's a 16th foul. The 16th foul for Miller Grove. And a 5-second call as the Tigers unable to get the ball in. That has Coach Archer a bit upset. He's saying that Sharman White, the head coach of Miller Grove, is dictating to the referees when to call the 5-second. This is Pinckney. Pinckney off the dribble. Pinckney elevates. Pinckney with a stroke. Nice jump shot that time. Looks like a 2-pointer. And it's a 17-10 lead for Miller Grove.
Yeah, Tucker desperately needs a score here.
Speaking of desperate, Fitzgerald, like he desperately wants it. Fitzgerald goes baseline, and somehow, you see the double team or the triple team came, and he still tried to force it. Wow, the trail official with the call that time. He had an official right there under the basket and a much better view, but the trail official with the foul call.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think he called the foul up top on Jabari Craig. I think he called it down low on Shambari.
That is correct. The foul is on Shambari. Contact down below. Earl Bryant able to convert the first field throw attempt, and it's now an 18-10 lead for the Wolverines. Balanced scoring dictates Miller Grove. If you look on the scoreboard now, you got Pinckney with 6. You've got Gilbert with 6. And now you've got a number 13 shirt, Bryant, with 7.
So you got a very balanced attack, and I think that's why they're successful. Everyone gets a chance to touch the ball and feel part of the game. And they're the 4-time state champs, so they have a lot of swag and a lot of confidence. Not the shot Tucker wants there at all.
Phillips off the dribble, and they're going to call a foul. And this one referee seems to be making some really questionable calls. Fitzgerald's call for a push-off, and that is what the referee's saying. He's unable to get that rebound. It's the wrong side. No, that's not one-on-one. It is an inbounds play. That is not a one-on-one opportunity for Miller Grove. There are only 14 fouls on the Tucker Tigers. Referees have made a critical error here. He should not be shooting. It's an inbound on the baseline. There's only 14 fouls on the Tucker Tigers. And the referees really have to get it together here.
Yeah, the referees got to get on the same page here.
Well, see, the problem I have
driving Coach Archie crazy, and he's expressing himself and now picks up a technical, and I can't blame him.
Wow, technical foul being called on Coach Archie. So I guess Miller Grove will be shooting foul shots. The referees made a mistake. Miller Grove is a home team. They're in white. On the board is a scoreboard here that clearly shows the foul situation. Team fouls for Miller Grove is 6. Team fouls for Tucker is 4. You have to be on top of your game, and when you make a mistake like that, about to give 2 foul shots or a one-on-one situation to the wrong team, you as an official have to be willing, and somebody has to yell. A coach has to yell at you, and the scores table is also telling you that you're making a mistake.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, this is a regional semifinal. We got teams that are gearing up for the playoffs, and you got 3 refs. And at this point in the season, you shouldn't be putting your best crew out there.
Should be at the best of the best refereeing this tournament. This is the best region for basketball in the whole state. The freshman off the dribble, the freshman the floater, and one of the weaknesses of the Tigers is rebounding. They got length though, and now there's another foul, and suddenly now the Tigers racking up the fouls. Importantly, Coach Archie has to remain seated now for the rest of the game. If I'm understanding high school rules, once you see that first technical, you have to sit down and you cannot stand on the sideline. If I'm not mistaken. James Walker
Tucker's got to do a much better job here at boxing out and controlling their end of the glass here. You can't give up 3 shot attempts to the 4-time state champs.
Wow. Here's the big fella back in Omar Venable, number 33 short. He's really basically one of the only size, him and James Walker, that Miller Grove have. They just play so hard. They come right at you. Reynolds, as Miller Grove seems to extend that 3-2 defense into the game, is Ware. And Josh Ware now, and nice hard take to the goal was Reynolds. He's fouled. He'll get 2 foul shots on that.
That was a bit better there by Tucker. They got some penetrations at the foul line. What I would like to see maybe by Tucker is, Miller Grove's did a great job of really shifting on defense and cutting off driving lanes. What Tucker may want to try to do is attack it from the backside and maybe have a runner on the baseline.
Important development here. Look who's picked up their 3rd foul. Number 33, the big fella, Omar Venable. He's picked up his 3rd foul for Miller Grove. But more importantly for Tigers, guess who's on the bench? Fitzgerald. He's picked up his second foul.
Yeah. So 2 key players for both teams on the bench, and here's a great opportunity for some of the guys, who play reserve roles to step up, make a difference. I think the refs missed the travel there.
Yeah, he did. The ball actually slipped out of his hand, went off the backboard. He's able to get it back. Here's Ware. Ware comes in for Fitzgerald, and the last game Ware was able to stabilize. And Jabari Craig with the miss. A little too long that time. There's going to be a foul in the backcourt called against Josh Ware. Ware picks up his first personal. It's a 16 foul for the Tigers. And once again, why are they at the foul line? Why are they at the foul line? This is, according to the scoreboard, it's a 6th personal foul. Hey.
Bud, how many fouls is that? Bud, say something.
It's the 6th foul. It's not the 7th foul. It should not be shot.
Bud, you have to say something.
I know, these referees cannot read. It clearly says 16 fouls. It's 16 fouls. It's side out. You have to do it. That's your job. Ridiculous. I mean, these referees really have to get it together. They've made the same mistake twice. They're about to give foul shots to a team.
That's an elementary mistake there. I mean, you got 3 referees.
This is high school, and each team has their own score.
Big scoreboard.
Yeah.
2 of them.
Nice move that time. Good front. That's Pinckney again. And wow, Miller's Rovers look like they're going to run away with this one unless the Tigers decide to really start playing. Here's Dunbar. Tigers need some scoring, and here's Dunbar attempting to provide it for him. A little long that time. Ball knocked out. Should be Tigers' ball. And again, referees. 1 point's one way, another. No, it's circus time. It's the clowns, sending the clowns as the officiating for this game. I mean, it's just. It's somebody has to get together, whether the referees. I mean, you have to understand that, are these referees graded or something to move on in the playoffs and things like that? Because you cannot make the same mistake again. Now you see the referees are at midcourt and you see them discussing it. They're over there discussing the same situation. You'd think one of them would be able to read a scoreboard that has the guest 12 points on that team fouls, and then the other, and the home has 7 fouls.
Yeah, I mean, making that mistake once, fine, we all mess up. Making it twice on back-to-back fouls is just kind of unexplainable. You've got 3 refs in the semis, for the regional, with 2 of the better teams that are going to be, fight for a championship. That shouldn't be happening.
It should not be happening. And unfortunately, what promised to be an excellent game is now going to be talked about for the poor officiating as opposed to just the play on the court. See, this is giving the Tigers trouble right here. Oh, nice movement to the big fella. And good finish. See, you got
very
deeper
good possession.
Oh, deeper post, though. You saw
deeper post, kept fighting for position. Tucker was patient. And that's how they got to attack. I mean, that's their one big advantage is inside with the size.
And the thing now, once they start to double down on that big inside, you throw it back out for the open looks at threes. But speaking of open look from threes,
a good answer there by
Earl Bryant for the Wolverines. Dunbar off the dribble, look like he traveled, and he will be called for the travel. A lot of time I teach a jump stop.
Yeah.
Come under control. If you're not going to elevate to go shoot that ball, come under control, jump stop.
The problem there is they got Craig parked on the left block, which overloads that side. If I'm Dunbar, I want to penetrate from the weak side, of that zone, where there's more opportunity.
Oh, and a mistake by Miller Grove. Pinckney vacated the space, and the ball was thrown out of bounds. Big break for the Tigers. Let's see if they can convert into points. See, with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the second quarter, if you're Tucker, what are you trying to do?
You know what? I'm trying to keep it close. I don't want the game to get away from me. I want to try to change the tempo of the game.
I mean, what an incredible shot that time. Earl Bryant just tapped it up and in. The lazy pass from Ware turned to a fast break opportunity. Now it's Phillips with a look from three, and Shambari Phillips.
And Tucker needed that.
Oh, they did. See, if I'm Tucker, I want to get, the last thing I want to do is an easy run out for an easy deuce. And Middle Grove now extends 32-17 lead. Try to get a little below 10 before halftime. And now another offensive foul call against, but the thing I don't like about in NBA, you're standing under the basket. They're not going to give that to you. Here in high school, they give him that to him. He's standing under the basket, so you can't elevate and score.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one there. I mean, good take by the Miller Grove defender. Again, but at that size, what Reynolds has to understand is you need to get the ball out of your hand. By the time you get past the foul line, any lower than that, get the ball on the rim to avoid such plays.
Oh, looked like Kyrie Hammer, who went out with an injury early on. Kyrie Hammer took a charge early in the first quarter and went out, and he's back in now. He's like one of the leading three-point shot. In the first game, he hit about 6 3-point shots against the Tigers. And he's going to kickball violation, a leg block call against Miller Grove, and the ball will belong to the Tucker Tigers. Dunbar calling for the ball. Look, I see now they're double teaming Craig in the post. Tigers have to have another option now.
Yeah,
look,
and they got to swing the ball. You got to reverse the ball quickly in the zone.
See, in this
you
situation,
want to attack as the defense is
there's
shifting.
Phillips off the dribble. Coming out the pack and pushing the ball is Hammer. Hammer to Pinckney. Pinckney with the layup. Pinckney extends now. 34-17 lead, 2:35 to go here in the first half. Phillips. Now, not into the big fella, Craig. Craig turned around. He got hit, and he's able to convert the turnaround jump shot. And Jabari Craig with a couple good offensive trips.
You know, Craig looks like their best option right now. With Fitzgerald on the bench, every time he gets the ball, there's a quality shot or something good happens. They've got to keep looking for him. But what Craig has to do is start to move around. He's kind of isolating himself on that left block. Good block.
Speaking of block, he's gotten another block shot. And you see, the thing about that should be Tucker's ball because the Miller Grove player is actually out of bounds when he touched that ball. How can he call it the other way? And see the referees again. The Miller Grove player is actually standing out of bounds when he touched that ball, and they're going to give it to the Wolverines. It's inexplicable. Here's Hammer. Hammer no good for that three. He had 6 last time, and he took that injury, taking a charge in the first quarter. Here's Ware down the middle, and Ware with a little scoop shot up and in. Josh Ware. Nice move that time. 1:44 to go here in the first half. Can the Tigers close to within 10? Tigers need a defensive stop desperately here. Craig with the rebound. Phillips with the push. Dunbar's asking for it. Set him up, and he does set up, but not ready to shoot. That time was Dunbar, and again, now he throws the ball away. See, one of the things I didn't like about that play, instead of Phillips had the ball bringing it up, Dunbar needs to sprint down into offensive position.
Yeah.
Phillips drove the lane trying to create the shot for his teammate, but he wasn't ready to catch and shoot.
And I think part of it, too, is that Shabari should be looking. You know, Shabari's a finisher. He's a guy that's going to attack and finish at the basket. If I'm him and I'm in transition, I want to give it up to my guard and maybe get it back and not try to make the play but finish the play.
Another turnover by the Wolverines. Tigers look to push. Here's Ware. That's Williams. Conrad Williams is checked into the ball game. Oh, looked like he traveled that time. Not called. Ware with a long, ill-advised three. And right there, the Tigers should have easily brought that down to single digits. 3-point no good. Tigers should push here. They always get a good look when they push. Oh, wow, nice timing. Pinckney just picked his pocket. Here's Bryant. Bryant with the flush. Tigers now should hold for one shot with about 28 seconds to go. But when you're trailing, if a good shot presents itself, you still should take it.
Yeah, man, try Try to go inside, play inside out. Every time Craig touches the ball, something positive has happened.
But the thing about
try to get him a touch here.
With Conrad Williams, who's not a three-point shooter on the other side, and what's that? The 5-second closely called guy is going. We're able to come out of it. We're now, see, one of the things I don't like is the fact that you got your second leading scorer on the wing. You go down the lane and you try to shoot it over the center. But that's the end of the first half. Tigers trail 36-21 to the Moving Gold Wolverines. Dave DeCosta along with Vidal Messiah. And so far, it's Wolverine dominance, but with a little help from the officials.
Yeah, the refs aren't doing a very good job of controlling the game or, keeping track of fouls and whatnot. There's a scoreboard here. They've messed up twice and almost given the wrong team foul shots. But Sucker's got to do a much better job this half of understanding that they have to force the tempo. Try to play fast, try to be in transition.
Coach Archie with a very lively conversation in midcourt with the officials. But Dave DeCosta along with Vidal Messiah says we'll be back, Messiah, after these messages.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP. We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this. One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna try to dictate to you what you're gonna do on both offense and defense. We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Now it's time to put the hats on and go get some work done.
So they're all going to look to make a statement early. We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna try to dictate to you what you're gonna do on both offense and defense. We're gonna come at you. One shot.
Now it's time to put the hats on and go get some work done.
So they're all going to look to make a statement early. We can get a player up here.
Ah, that's good stuff.
Alright, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Ah, that's good stuff.
Alright, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna try to dictate to you what you're gonna do on both offense and defense. We're gonna come at you. One shot.
Now it's time to put the hats on and go get some work done.
So they're all going to look to make a statement early. can get a player up here.
Ah, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/.
It's almost time for the second half. All right, coming to you live here from the big city of Atlanta on the campus of Mays High School. It's the Miller Grove Wolverine and the Tucker Tigers, the best of Georgia High School basketball. All right, we're set for second half action, and the possession belongs to Miller Grove. This is Pinckney. Tigers like they've backed into man-to-man. Pinckney, Walker. And big fella against big fella. And nice move inside, but unable to convert. And it's Tucker basketball. If you're Tucker, what are you trying to do here? What do you have to do to get back into this game?
If I'm Tucker, definitely want to, try to push tempo. Try to really engage Fitzgerald as much as possible. Maybe run some pick and roll. 2-man game with Craig. That's not a bad idea.
Phillips with a 3. A rebound taken away by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, a little jump hook is no good. Drive and kick. Hammer. And it's definitely not hammer time. Not picnic time either. Ball went off the big fella for them, 33, Venable, and it goes over to Tucker. You're down by 15 early here in this third quarter. Your first couple possessions, one thing I didn't like about that first possession, the ball came to Phillips, but he never looked in the post, and Craig had really nice deep position on his man, but he didn't get a look.
And you're down 15, yes, but you got to take it one possession at a time. Run your offense, try to get stops. And the biggest thing is don't turn it over.
Wow, nice move that time. Fitzgerald from the baseline, able to convert. Earl Bryant now being guarded by Phillips, who gets the second half start. Here's Bryant off the dribble. He's blocked. Here's Fitzgerald with the loose ball. Dunbar now, who's yet to get on track here after scoring in the 20s last time. Nice little short jump shot by and rims out. Hard luck that time for Craig. Here's Pinckney. Pinckney looking to go off the dribble. Pinckney down to the lane. Pinckney with a layup, no good. Nice rebound by Fitzgerald. Here's Dunbar headed to the field. Nice screen by, and John, he landed on that shoulder hard. Dunbar, let's see, he'll get up, may have bumped that elbow a little bit, but you saw the screen that time by Craig.
Craig, good screen. Tucker the last couple of possessions, although they haven't scored, they're getting quality shots. They are playing in transition, which is what they want to do. They got to just weather this storm, try to go on a little run here and close the gap in this game.
Dunbar able to convert the first one. He can close to within 11 if he's able to convert this shot. He is good. And here's Pinckney now being hounded by Reynolds. Tigers in a man-to-man defense. Here's Hammer. Kyrie Hammer with the pull-up 3 is good. Well, he's only getting 2. He had a foot on the line, so it's a 2-point shot for Hammer. Reynolds to Dunbar. Dunbar on the baseline. Dunbar try to shoot over the big fella. You know, when the defense rotates you should just drop it off to your big guy.
I mean, Dunbar driving right into the defense. Jabari's man steps up, but he don't look to drop it off. That's the result. You got to make plays as a guard.
Basketball is a game of reading and reacting. Read what the defense do, then you react. And speaking of reacting, not ready was James Walker from that pass from Omar Venerable, the big center, number 33. Fitzgerald with a forced shot, but he's fouled, and he'll get 2 shots. I mean, you know, he had 2 defenders on him. He forced it up. He got bailed out that time, but, you know.
I mean, he's lucky to be at the foul line, but that's not the strategy, if I'm Tucker, that I want to play. I'm not isolating Fitzgerald to go one-on-one and pull up on 3 defenders. Run some action. You know, try to get some assisted baskets, and start to, build some momentum as a team.
All right, good thing the Tigers are a pretty good foul shooting team. Because Miller Grove plays such pressure defense, they do rack up a lot of fouls.
Yeah.
Here's Bryant being guarded by Phillips. Thing I like about Miller Grove, all their guards can go off the dribble, and they all can shoot it.
I mean, they all can shoot.
So pick your poison.
You've got to guard if you're Tucker and really try to contain the ball, not overhelp my penetration.
Oh, nice steal that time. There's Fitzgerald. Oh, Lord Jesus, it's a foul. And a dunk for Fitzgerald.
You know, Tucker's not going away. I mean, again, if they can, get some stuff in transition, pick up some momentum and find some rhythm. They're a tough bunch. This game's far from over. If I'm Miller Grove, you got to hit right now. You got to throw a punch.
Well, this has to be one of the goals for the Tigers. It's now below double digits. It's now a 9-point lead. So, you've come out trailing by 15.5. You've outscored them 8-2. And let's see if the Tigers can mount another good defensive stop, because they seem to be getting stops at this end. Okay, what are the referees doing now? It is an inbounds for Miller Grove. Tigers now have to dig deep. Boy, when you get minutes out of a freshman like they're getting out of Alfred Gilbert, that's just so, that's big.
Yeah. He's got to be one of the best freshmen in the state.
Wow, nice open look, James Walker. But it's another assisted basket for the Wolverines.
Yeah.
There's Fitzgerald. Just have to send another double team at him. Elevation, and he short rims that one. He gets his own rebound though. Here he goes back at him. Look like he's fouled, but unsuccessful, unable to convert. But you got to like the play that time. He's short on that first shot, but he's kept alive and able to get the rebound.
Yeah, he's definitely going after. I think what Tucker has to be careful here is he doesn't start going 1-on-5. It's been 2 straight possessions where he's attacked. There's been positive results because he's been fouled. But you got to be careful.
He's good on his first attempt. Checking back in is Raylon Richardson. He replaces number 12, James Walker, who picked up that foul. And, like I said, it's 3 team fouls to 0 so far. And I hope the referees are reading the right columns this half. Fitzgerald able to convert. Can the Tigers get some stops? Can they find some other offense other than Fitzgerald? Hammer is open. Kyrie Hammer. He's off Phillips. And it's Reynolds away. Then he gives the big man the ball. Why do you give the big man in transition the ball at midcourt?
Just all I can do is shake my head.
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
Very poor decision again by the Tucker guards. You do not want to hit your 6'10" center on the run at half court.
Tigers again with another good defensive stop. Could have brought it down to 7 or even 6. Once again, good defense being played by the Tigers. Good defensive pressure that time by Reynolds, but it ball still belongs to Miller Grove. Nice stutter step that time by the freshman. It's a loose ball and a hook shot. Phillips comes away with it. See, the thing about Phillips is he had Reynolds ahead of the field. Oh, what a pass. Phillips, though, able to get in there. And Phillips gets a shot blocked. Oh, nice block. And now another foul called against the Tigers.
Tucker missed a huge opportunity.
Why did he lob it up?
Pass. He lobbed it up, but
he's
it hit the
standing there by
backboard.
himself. Give it to him. Let the player make the decision. That time, Tigers went for spectacular. Came up with nothing. Throw the ball into the big man. He's standing by himself. He'll go up and dunk it. You come down court now. You're down 6 points. Now they push it up back up to 9.
Huge opportunities to cut the lead, and again to further gain momentum. You've got to execute that play if you're John.
Important here. The winner goes to the finals. The loser goes to the 3rd place game and 4th place game. Difference is the first top 2 seeds have home games next week, and the 3 and 4 seeds are on the road. Once again, foul called. Let's see who's going to call it on. Call on Hammer. Kyrie Hammer picks up the foul. That's his 2nd personal. And just like that, the Wolverines look like that 5 team fouls. It's like Reynolds able to knock down the 3.
It's a big shot by Tucker.
Well, if they're going to throw so many players on that side of the court where Fitzgerald and Craig are, you've got to leave the other side open. Okay, why are you fighting your big center for the ball? Let's go. Here's Fitzgerald in the open court. Fitzgerald behind the back. And he looked like he was fouled, but no call.
Another scoop.
And now a foul called as
another poor decision. You got a 3-on-1.
And you're dribbling behind the back.
Transition, dribble behind your back. You miss your big who ran. You miss your shooter on the wing. You give up, a 2-point layup plus the foul on the other end.
Keith Pinckney now able to convert that layup, and he'll shoot 1. Reynolds called for the foul. That's the 3rd foul on Devontae Reynolds, the point guard for Tucker. Now it looks like Miller Grove is extended. Their full court press. The big fella. See, the thing that Phillips didn't even look again. Once you break the press, you've really got to make a team pay.
You got to make it pay. You got to attack and go to the basket.
Especially when you're trailing. No good was that. A 3-point attempt was Fitzgerald. Turnover by the Wolverines. Dunbar with the push. Dunbar feeds Phillips, who's blocked. But Dunbar again, active hands. Dunbar, Phillips again. Let's see, Phillips once again loses the ball. Ball got stuck that time. Here's Pinckney. No good. Phillips battling for the rebound. Still loose. Hammer with the loose ball. Hammer again, and Hammer able to convert. Kyrie Hammer. And now Miller Grove is back on top, 47-34. Timeout on the floor. Dave DeCosta along with Vidal Messiah. It's the best of Georgia High School basketball on the Play On Sport Network. And once again, decision-making.
I think that's been the Achilles heel of Tucker all season. The guards do not make very good decisions at times, whether to pass, whether to pull it out. There you see Shabari, forced shot. John gets a steal on the outlet. You get it back again, another forced shot. You've got to make better decisions. Show some poise, show some trust in your offense. What you can do in half court if need be. There's nothing wrong with running. If you got to pull it out and run some half court stuff, Have some faith in what you've worked on in practice.
What I'm disappointed with is the play of Phillips in those last two possessions he had inside the paint. He's not reading the defender. He's just said, I'm going up and I'm going to shoot it. Give us a pump fake, see what the defender does, then make your decision based on that information, not the fact that you're just going to go up. He's just waiting for you, and then he blocks your shot.
Yeah.
Pump fake, he gets off your feet, lean into him, try to get the three-point opportunity play out of it.
That's a good point, Scoop.
With a minute 4 to go in the third quarter, we're trying to find out that the Tigers have a run in them. You know, they say every basketball team has one final run in them. Can they get it down below 10 here with a minute to go? As Miller Grove extends, one of the things I like to do is throw over the press. So you got three of the best defenders in the front court right here, right? Why am I going to pass it in here when we can do some more damage over at this side? But it looked like they backed off, like they're setting the Tigers up. Dunbar off the dribble. Dunbar. And he's fouled. And he'll go to the line. Fouls on number 4 shirt, Raylon Richardson. Richardson's second foul. At the line will be John Dunbar, and it's important for the Tigers to continue to make their foul shots. Hang around. Till somebody gets hot or you can get some more defensive stops and turn it up. Hammer is back into the game. Wow. Miller Grove plays 2 freshmen. You have Raylon Richardson. He's the number 4 shirt, the one that just picked up a foul. He's a 9th grader. And Alfred Gilbert, who's had a couple big threes. Defense now, but no rebounding. Tigers playing good defense, but it needs some rebounding in there. And Miller Grove with the tip.
Which is just, unexplainable. The size that Tucker has, they're just being outworked.
There's Phillips. Looking to go off the dribble. Should elevate right here. Deep post by Craig. Like they hold him for 1. And there's going to be a foul called. A hand check foul on number 1, Pinckney. Pinckney picks up another foul. That's his first personal. It's a 16 foul, though. Miller Grove has 16 fouls. Tucker has 2. Tigers should continue to go to the hole because you know what? Sooner or later, somebody's going to foul out.
That may serve very well for Tucker later in the game.
And again, Reynolds inside. And when you're fouled, no steal that time. And then there's that official again. Boy. I don't know what the official is calling now. He called a sideline violation.
Bounds.
Oh, he's telling the Tucker players to go get the ball and give it to him. Oh, really? Wow. He's going to give him a technical now. And that is so petty. Who is the adult? Who is the professional? That is petty for this official. You know what? You go and get the ball. Any other official is running, go get the ball. Yeah. He tells the kid to go and get the ball, and then he penalizes the kid with the official. That's unprofessional behavior from this official.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's not the player's job to go retrieve the ball for the referee.
Absolutely. I've never seen a ref order a player to go get a ball, and then when he gets in and rolls it to him, he tees him up. Unbelievable. Now it's 36, 3.6 seconds to go. Let's see what kind of play Miller Grove runs here. This is Pinckney. He should look to elevate. There he goes. And no good. End of the third quarter. Miller Grove 50, Tucker 36. Dave DaCosta along with Vidal Messiah. It's the best of Georgia High School basketball on the Play On Sport Network. And it's never a good thing when the officials are a big part of any game. When you're talking about the officials rather than talking about the play of the athletes.
Yeah. I mean, they're not doing a very good job, at all here of of maintaining control of the game and also calling it both ways. Referees mess up, coaches, players both accept that. If you do mess up, there's nothing wrong with fessing up, and moving on. But to give a player a technical foul because he doesn't want to retrieve the basketball, that's unheard of. I've never seen that.
And it's important too because guess what? It's the 4th foul on Reynolds.
Wow.
The Tucker fouls on the right-hand side. You got Reynolds with 4. Dunmire has 1. Fitzgerald 2. Shambari has 2. For a total of 3 team fouls.
Well, I'm working, sir. Sorry, I can't hear you, sir. He's really on his hat stuff. Whatever.
Yeah. Good post position, Craig. Oh, it looked like his arm was hit. No call. Big fella gets his own rebound, though, and puts it in there.
You know what? Every time they've gone to Craig, something positive has happened. They've got to find just a way to, maybe, get the balls a bit more often.
You're Miller Grove now. How do you want to play? Do you want to run more clock every possession, or you keep attacking?
I probably keep attacking. I mean, up 12. There's pretty much a whole quarter left.
What a beast inside, but get the rebound, Tigers. Fitzgerald unable to collect that rebound. Here's a freshman off the dribble, Gilbert, and knocks down the 2-pointer. I mean, Craig was just blocking every shot in there, but Tigers unable to get that rebound. Off the dribble. He turned the wrong way, but it's up there. No good that time by Craig. And a foul will be called on Devontae Fitzgerald. And going to the line will be Earl Bryant.
A good take there by the Miller Grove player. Tucker's got to do a better job of getting back in transition and stopping the basketball.
Bryant will shoot 2 shots. Kendall Williams, a 10th grader, checks in now. Fitzgerald back into the game. Check that. Devontae Reynolds back into the game. He with the 4 fouls. They brought in Ware for him, but Coach Archie says, might as well bring him out there now because this game looked like it's about to get away from the Tigers.
Yeah, Tucker has to be careful. They got to make a run. They've got to try to, score in bunches and, and cut this lead.
Wow. Long 3 by Dunmire. Craig got the ball rebound, but he held it around his hips. But the Miller Grove player was standing out of bounds when he tried to take that ball away from him. There's Craig setting up Dunmire. See, Dunmire has to be ready to catch and shoot. Josh Ware from the corner, no good on that 3-point attempt. See, a lot of Tucker players are in position, but they're not just ready to catch and shoot.
That's great basketball, Miller Grove. You push in transition, attack baseline. You got a safety outlet there in the corner. He catches it, long closeout, 1 dribble pull up. That's textbook fast break basketball.
Kyrie Hammer with the conversion for Miller Grove. Once again, it's going to be a foul call against Miller Grove. It's going to be on Kyrie Hammer. Tigers are in the bonus. They'll be shooting foul shots from here on out with 6 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Hammer picks up his 3rd personal. Back into the ball game is Gilbert. Craig at the line. If the Tigers going to make a run, now it is. He front rims that one. Look at the push by Miller Grove. Good defense again. Initial good defense. but nobody there patrolling the boards to rebound.
Yeah, Craig got to do a better job there of, at least getting a hand on it.
Well, he actually blocked the shot.
Not a good pass there.
How should he have made that pass?
I mean,
It's
he
a big
threw
fella.
the outside hand, which was the hand almost on the outside of the baseline. And he threw a direct pass. Not that you don't want to put some speed on it, but you want to give Craig a chance to catch the ball.
Good decision that time by Kendall Williams, the 10th grader, to pull that one out for Miller Grove. And they'll reset. Another open look at 3. Rebound by the Tigers. Look to rush. Now, see, look, here's the difference. Good play that time. Devontae Reynolds. And they go to the line and shoot one. Tigers have to push.
Tucker has to push. They got to try to get to the foul line, stop the clock, and set up a press and try to pick the tempo of the game up. You're down 17, 5 minutes left. To a very good team here, you've got to try something now. It's now or never.
One thing they need to do is make their foul shots. They missed the last couple. Bryant now. Walker. Hammer now to the freshman Gilbert. Gilbert being guarded by the freshman against the senior Fitzgerald. And he crosses him over and loses it. Still a loose ball. It's going to be timeout called by Miller Grove to save that possession that time. Coach Archer's asking, how can he call timeout without having possession of the ball? But
good point.
That's where we are right now. 30-second timeout on the floor. 57-40. Tigers trail the Miller Grove Wolverine. And time is getting short for the Tigers.
Yeah, again, they gotta switch up the tempo here of the game. Down 17 with 5 minutes left against a very good defensive team. Tucker's used to scoring in the 70s and 80s. Miller Grove's done a great job of holding them to only 40 points here. So
now, if you're Tucker, do you go smaller? Do you scramble? What do you do? Get your
I definitely press. I've got to press. I've got to take some gambles here. Take some risk and and just see what happens.
I've seen him do that play several times. Good read that to my Ware. Now let's see if Ware sets somebody up or goes for himself. And he goes for himself, and he converts, and he's get the foul.
Good take there by Ware. Very good take.
Nice aggressive take, but read the defense. You have 2 shooters out. You're trailing. God bless him for making that shot, but were you aware of your 2 people? That's the thing I want to know. Where's the awareness?
Yeah, and that's the thing that you question with Tucker's guards is. Sometimes when you make a shot, great, but sometimes it's fool's gold.
Yeah.
That won't always be there. Sometimes making the better decision.
Reinforce those bad behaviors.
Exactly.
Left in the corner is Hammer. Hammer, the 3-point expert. No good. Rebound taken away. Tigers need some rebounding in there. He's stepping on the baseline, so it's going to be Tigers basketball. It's 57-43, 4:20 to go. Ware. Now Reynolds. Here's the trap. He's beating the trap. That time, it looked like Craig is going for the bank shot every time.
Yeah, it looks like he's going for the bank shot, but he's not getting enough on it, and he's not getting the ball high enough.
Miller Grove continues to shoot and continues to make it. Keith Pinkney with the conversion. So you go one end, you miss, come the other end, and it's a good look. Seems like Miller Grove is having an easier time getting good looks than the Tigers are.
Yeah, I think the zone here really has Tucker out of their element. They're forced to work the ball and make multiple passes.
Dunbar elevation partially blocked.
That's the kind of shots that you get. And
here's Gilbert.
I think any team that's going to play Tucker going into the playoffs, they're probably going to have a good look at this tape and try some zone.
We've talked about Tucker getting an identity heading to the state tournament here. because you're coming from the best region for basketball. I mean, there may be a couple teams better throughout the whole state. Oh, foul from behind. And let's see who that foul's on. If it's on number 4, that could be his 4th personal. Well, check it. It's not number 3, and it's his 3rd. It's on the freshman, Alternique Gilbert. Tigers in the double bonus now. They'll be shooting 2 shots from here on out. Josh Ware at the line. He'll have 2 shots. Should the Tigers go to a full court press?
Yeah, Tucker may want to press here, or I'm not sure as to why they're not, but there's still plenty of time left for 3 minutes.
Tigers still straight up man-to-man. Now Ware has to be a little closer, right? Keep that 5-second count going. Oh, you can't be beat that easy. Once again, rebounding. And on the baseline again was Miller Grove. Ball goes over to Tucker. Here's a stop. 2:42 to go. Let's see if the Tigers get an assisted basket this trip. Here's Ware. Nice look. Dunmire. And it's good. And just like that, you asked for it, and we get it.
That's a good look there.
Ware to Dunmire. Oh, that time you saw that Fitzgerald could have been a little more pressure. Could have probably created a turnover there.
You gave up on the play. A lot of times when you press, you may not get the ball to steal. With the once the first wave of your defense is collapsed, or sometimes coming from behind with that second wave on a back tap.
Good interior passing that time. James Walker on the finish for Miller Grove. Here's Ware. Ware looking to chuck one up into the big fella. Good move. Oh, and he's tripped. He's tripped that time. Number 13 tripped him. That was Earl Bryant. 2 more foul shots for Tucker. But I like that. See, Craig learned something. Normally he turned to his right and with that little bank shot, he faked it. The defenders went for it and he spun back to the middle. Looked like he's going for that big finish. See, he's improving. I mean, he's learning, and that's the thing about it. He is a very smart kid.
Yeah, he's definitely picking the game up, extremely quickly for a guy with such little experience. He's probably playing some of the better basketball here down the stretch of the season.
61-49. Miller Grove still relentless. Still going. High screen and roll. Bryant to the hole. Bryant with the conversion. Nice move. Earl Bryant with the left hand. Dunmire now for the Tigers. Dunmire looking. Here's Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald. Call for the offensive foul. Call for a push-off. Foul is on Fitzgerald. That's his 4th personal. The 15th foul for the Tucker Tigers. You have Reynolds with 4 fouls. Fitzgerald with 4 fouls. Here's Pinckney. Pinckney with the conversion. And let's see who the foul's on. It is on Craig.
Yeah, Pinckney's been very impressive tonight. I mean, he's shown the ability to, drive to the basket and finish. He's pulled up for 3s. He's pulled up for 2s. He's a very good player, and he's in a definitely play a huge role.
Short rims that one.
Running the playoffs.
Here's a push by Reynolds. Dunmire, long 3. Rebound taken away by Bryant. Bryant falls down, no call. Dunmire still dribbling the ball, and he should have been passing it. You're in traffic, son. Pick it up and pass it. Good tipping. Kyrie Hammer. So it's a 2-point basket with 37.7 seconds to go. by Devontae Reynolds. And what are lessons should Tucker learn from a game like this?
That it's not going to be easy, and you're going to have to learn how to play in the half court. Better teams are going to slow you down. They say it at every level, whether it be in the NBA, college. Get the playoff time. Teams know what you want to do, and they're going to try to, dictate tempos to where you're not playing your game. So they're going to have to get better with executing in the half court and expect to see a lot of zone in the playoffs.
Yeah, the zone gave Tucker so much trouble tonight. They were actually leading 8-7 until Miller Grove switched to that zone. Yeah. And all of a sudden, Miller Grove went to a 15-8 lead.
Yeah, well, again, I think the zone forces Tucker to think, and they want to react. They want to play in transition. They want to get River with threes in transition. Sorry, Fitzgerald, John, Reynolds, and those guys, Shambari, are very good open court players. Tucker, their strength is half-court execution.
All right, Tigers foul immediately. Keith Pinckney will go to the foul line. He's shooting 1-1. He missed his last foul shot opportunity, was attempted to convert the conventional three-point play opportunity. And, let's see if the Tigers can execute down the end here, because you never know when you're going to need this kind of execution in a much closer game in the playoffs. Right now, the Tigers, highest seed they can achieve now, it will be a third seed.
Okay.
Will be a third seed, and a lot of teams will take that because there are a lot of teams not in it at this point. And Miller Grove, relentless. The big fella with the dunk. And it's the fifth foul on Fitzgerald. And Fitzgerald's night is done.
I'll tell you what, the other thing Tucker has to figure out is, again, playoff time, teams have seen you play, they've scouted you. This has been the second game in a row where they've really keyed in on taking away Fitzgerald, his touches, his looks. Tucker's gonna have to find a way, to make sure he's being productive.
It's still 1-on-1 opportunity. Bryant able to convert. You get another opportunity. And he's good on both. 3 seconds to go. And they're still pressing. And Tigers are still dribbling. And they're still turning it over. And Miller Grove still scoring. That's Keith Pinckney. That's his 25th point for the night. Yeah. And Bryant, no good at the buzzer. End of the ball game. Final score: Miller Grove 72, Tucker 53. And your final thoughts on tonight's ball game?
Miller Grove is a very tough team. They know how to win. They've got a winning tradition. Coach White does a great job, and they're well prepared, and they're balanced. You've got 2 players over 20 points. Well-deserved win. And they're probably the team to beat going into the playoffs.
All right, that's it from the big city of Atlanta. You've been listening and watching the Play On Sport Network presentation of Georgia High School basketball. It's playoff basketball, Region 6 5A playoffs, the Miller Grove Wolverines and the Tucker Tigers. We'll see you at Saturday. Tomorrow we have a third-place game, in which the Tigers can, if they're successful, they don't know who they're going to play yet, a chance to be a third seed out of Region 6 5A in the state playoffs. For the Vidal Messiah, Dave DaCosta, so long from from Mays High School.